I feel like there are so many great correlations when it comes to fitness and business, especially around goal settings. Over the past year, I set a goal to really just get in shape. Today's video, I really want to dive deep into every single thing that I did, the app that I use, tracking devices that I used, the diets, everything that I did to get into the shape that I am in now. For most of my life, I was, in pretty decent shape. I was never really overweight. In high school, I was always a skinny kid, always in sports or doing something, fairly active. So I was never really overweight. Then I got married. I had 2 kids, not me personally. My wife had the kids. You know how that goes, men. When you're married, you gain that sympathy weight with your wife. And I did. I gained a little bit of that weight. And after my first son was born, I decided I got to take things seriously. I got to get back in shape. So I started exercising, started running. Didn't really pay too much attention to my diet, but I did start running and training. And I decided to run a Tough Mudder. And if you don't know what a Tough Mudder is, it's like an obstacle course race. My son was he was probably one years old. Child number 2 came along. I kind of had some things go down in my life with health. I ended up trying to run a second Tough Mudder. I was training for it. I just felt terrible. Like I was just sick all the time. I was weak and I felt like garbage. I was running the second Tough Mudder, and on like mile 9, there was this obstacle where I had to jump over this big muddy chasm or whatever it's called. And I literally just collapsed. My legs gave out on me. I've never experienced anything like this in my entire life. They gave out. I had no control over them, and I was just passed out in the mud. Luckily one of the other runners was able to pull me out, got some medical attention over there. Long story short, I go into the doctor. They said I had mono, which if you've ever had it before, it takes so much out of you physically. I just kind of gave up on myself. I stopped working out. I definitely was never really eating right. And just over the course of the years, I had realized I'd kind of let myself go. And I used to joke about it with, friends and stuff. And so I kind of hit the point where I had just was just skating through life. I was uncomfortable. It was getting to the point where I was getting out of breath over tiny little things. And I didn't like that. But one catalyst for me was we took a little vacation, a little staycation here in Arizona to the Great Wolf Lodge, which is an indoor water park. So obviously swimming with my kiddos and things like that. And I felt uncomfortable with my shirt off in the public. And I was embarrassed about, my body and where I had let myself go. We were in the arcade afterwards, and there was this photo they got posted. It was kind of a side shot of me. It really just disgusted me. Like I saw this and I'm like, that fat ass guy is me. And it really just kind of triggered this, like, holy shit. I'm not trying to body shame anyone or anything, but for me personally, I was embarrassed of what I had become physically. I wasn't happy. I wasn't confident. I was tired. When I saw that photo, it really just kind of triggered something in my brain, and I decided that I'm going to make a change. Just like with anything else, if you have a goal and you truly want to get it done, one of the best things you can do is share that goal with everyone. So you may have heard of the term S.M.A.R.T, the S.M.A.R.T goals. It's an acronym for how you can accomplish these goals. So like with anything, like I've set many goals in business, and I'm really good at, being diligent and making my phone calls and reaching out to people. And I have the business side of things down, but I've never really applied those same principles to my physical fitness or to my personal physical goals. So same thing, we set a S.M.A.R.T goal. S.M.A.R.T is an acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, relative, and time-based. So S.M.A.R.T. I had a very simple goal. On the Apple Fitness Watch, they have these trackers. They're called rings. One is for just daily movement. Number 2 is an exercise goal. And number 3 is a stand goal. You have to stand so many hours throughout the day. So whatever your goals are, if once you hit them, you close all your rings and you get this fun little, it's an animated thing that pops up on your watch. And so I decided that I was going to close all of my rings for a year. And I did this on my son's birthday. He was turning 10 years old. So by the time he turns 11, I want to see a total body transformation in myself. And I didn't want to have it overwhelming, because I feel like if you set goals that are too overwhelming sometimes, that you don't do them. So I just kept it simple. I'm going to close my rings every single day for a year. So I shared that goal with Facebook, with friends, with social media. And then I had an accountability partner, a buddy of mine. He was on my podcast, Alex Simon. He had this goal as well. He actually started a few months prior than me, so he was ahead of it, because we decided that we were just, tired of our of our current physical situation. So that's how it started. Set a goal, close all my rings every single day for an entire year. I had to burn at least 750 calories a day, exercise a minimum of 30 minutes per day, and then stand for 12 hours out of the day. So nothing outrageous. 30 minutes of exercise can be anything. For me, it started out very simple. I didn't want to overwhelm myself. I didn't want to get into just hardcore weightlifting or HIIT training because I knew that was going to burn me out real quick, real fast. So I started slow, 30 minutes on the Peloton. I thought that was simple. Peloton is a pain in the ass if you've never done it before, but it's a great workout. Some days it was just taking a walk outside for 30 minutes or walking on the treadmill. With that, I decided on top of, getting back in shape, I have to change my diet. My parents actually turned me on to this app called Noom. You may have seen their commercials. They're super cheesy. It talks about how they use psychology to kind of, train your brain to learn about food and really just get you going in the right way. Before I do something, I have to understand why I'm doing it. I'm not one of those people that just blindly does it because, so-and-so said so. Like, I have to understand, there has to be a reason and it has to make sense, and I'm very logical. So this Noom app was really cool because it was very simple. My mom and dad lost a ton of weight on it as well. You read some articles per day that teaches you about food, it teaches you about your body, about your digestive system, about biology. I know this all sounds kind of boring, but for me, I really enjoy learning about that type of stuff, that logic piece of it. So it teaches you things every single day, and they don't want you to burn out. You never read more than 5 minutes per day in this app. And they even have an audio version. If you're not a big reader, you can listen to it and it'll read to you the articles. In order to, accomplish your goals in this Noom app, you had to read an article, weigh in every day. And when I look back on it now, it's it was so simple. Think about anything I do in business. I read a book to learn about something. I create a tracker, a spreadsheet, a Google something online, and then you put it into action and you track. And then from there, it's just daily discipline with accountability and check-ins. This is all it was. So for me, on the food side of things, it was this Noom app. They taught me all about food. There's no such thing as bad food, calorie intake, and certain foods and what their caloric density is. And so they had a very simple system, which for me was very easy to track. The other thing you have to track is your food. First couple weeks of Noom, they don't tell you to change your diet, change the way you're eating. All they say is just log everything that you eat. So if you go to McDonald's and you have a cheeseburger, you got to type in cheeseburger in that app. It'll tell you how many calories it was, and it'll put it into a category. These aren't hands-off. If I wanted to have a piece of cake or a donut for a day, as long as it fit in my daily budget categories, you're good to go. Throughout this Noom program, they also talk about fitness and how you can incorporate daily exercise. Well, I was already doing the exercise, and because you can link your Apple Watch to the app, it'll track it. And I noticed the longer I worked out or the more calories I burned, the bigger my budget opened up. And so I got to eat more, right? Which was exciting. It was kind of incentive. If I want to have a glass of whiskey at night, I can do that. I have to fit it in my budget and make sure it fits. So to me, this was something that made sense. I'm not drastically changing. I'm not forcing myself to eat plain boiled chicken and brown rice every day. I was eating normal things. Honestly, I ate fast food a ton. I didn't change my diet a whole lot. I started trying new things, ate a lot less, but I changed how I did things. When you get those cravings late at night, I'm I don't have anything in my budget for a candy bar, but I can have grapes or I can have an apple. From the time I started this app to the time I finished it, I think it was about 3 months. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months, only doing that and exercising 30 minutes a day. And again, I'm not talking hardcore exercises. I think the most I was doing at this point was push-ups and sit-ups. I wasn't really getting into weightlifting or any hardcore HIIT training or anything like that. Moving my body, getting into a good spot. And it just melted off. I was really surprised. So then I was starting to feel good, right? I'm starting to like things like salads. I used to freaking hate salad, guys. And I love it now. Something happened with the psychology of learning about all this stuff where it literally changed my taste buds and my outlook on everything. It blew my mind. It was life-changing, and it's something that I still stick with today. It's been over a year since I've done this. Motivation is an up and down sort of thing, and that's where having an accountability partner really comes into play. So anytime I was having a tough day, call my buddy Alex and be like, dude, it's rough today. And you have slip-ups. I would blow my budget sometimes. I'd have an extra beer, an extra glass of whiskey or whatever it was, have too much chocolate or decide to have a piece of pizza, and you go over a little bit and you feel kind of bad just because that's human nature. Don't feel bad. Things happen. It was a bad day. You move on and you focus on the next day. I've never understood that. Once if one bad thing goes wrong, you don't just blow it, right? You don't just say, well, I'm just, the day's ruined or whatever. you just, you stumble, you move on, and you pick up the next day. In the midst of all this and getting healthy, sharing my journey, it's fun, right? You start to get compliments. People are like, dang, you're losing weight. I had to buy a whole new wardrobe, new pairs of shirts twice. I was an XL, and then I got down to a large, and then I got down to a medium. I was a 38 waist size, guys. Yeah, I got a 34, and now I am swimming in these 32s right now. That's been part of it, is wanting to help me keep going, and that's what's kept my motivation going. I had all these little mini challenges in between this year, right? I'm like, okay, so 3 months in, I finished the Noom program, things were going good, I'm tracking everything. Me and a coworker decided that we were gonna do the 75 hard challenge. If you're gonna do it with an accountability partner, because it is so hard. And if you're married or if you have a loved one, prep them, because it's a lot of work. It takes over so much of your life. It's 75 days, and every single day, 2 workouts per day, minimum 45 minutes each. One has to be inside, one has to be outside. You have to read 10 pages of a book minimum. Physical book. It can't be an e-reader. It can't be the audio book. You have to stick to a diet. They don't specify what kind of diet. So for me, I just stuck with Noom. And Noom's whole thing is I just made sure never to exceed my budget. And I tracked my food every single day for 75 days. 0 alcohol for 75 days. You guys know me. I'm the mixology and mortgages guy. No alcohol for me for 75 days. That was the one that scared me the most. But I did it. And honestly, I felt phenomenal. I missed it a ton, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And a gallon of water every day. That one was harder than I thought it was going to be. I ended up buying, So I literally bought this 1 gallon water bottle, and I filled this up every single day just so I could make sure I got my gallon in every single day. So 75 days of this. I did it with a buddy, and it sucked. 2 weeks into it, I got sick. I got really sick. I got the man flu. Anyone knows what the man flu is? It's worse than pregnancy. I'm just kidding. No, don't tell my wife I said that. Again, I have to drink a gallon of water. I have to do 2 workouts, one inside, one outside in winter, Arizona winter, but it was still cold. I was really pissed off, and I was just like, man, should I just call it? But I was like, you know what? I committed to this. I'm going to do it. I forced myself. So my workout that day was, it was walking on a treadmill. On the inside, it was rough, dripping buckets by the time I was done. Just real steady pace, but it counts. It's a workout. I got it in. It's better than sitting on the couch and doing nothing. For the second workout, I went outside in my backyard, laid out a yoga mat, and I had this little, I had an iPad that had this iPad guided yoga. Never done yoga in my life. And same thing, I was just drenched in sweat by the time I was done with it. This was a rough day. I remember I would get up, make a few phone calls, work a little bit on my laptop, sleep on the couch for 30 minutes, go back to work, do it again, go back to sleep for 30 minutes. It was rough. Forced my way through it. I got better. We're good. Fast forward about a month into it. My outside workouts, I was jogging. And then that jog slowly turned into a run. And then, I started getting a little cocky and I started sprinting and tried to see how fast I could go and was beating my times. And I sprained my freaking knee. I usually don't get injuries like that. I've got pretty good legs and knees. And so I sprained my freaking knee and I was really pissed off about it. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of this 75 hard challenge. I went to physical therapy, got some awesome shots in my knee, which I highly recommend if you've never done it because it hurts really bad. I had to get a leg brace thing. And just, my outside workouts became brisk walks at that point until my leg was better. And then I got back up to jogging and stuff. I stuck with this every single day. And it was tough because I was traveling on some days. I remember one day I had to wake up at 3 a.m. just so that I could get my first workout in the morning because I was traveling that day. And because of this, you have to plan so much of your day. And that's really what it comes down to. You have to just plan everything, you track it, you set those goals. What was interesting to me is it started out small, and then from there, it really kind of grew and it got, a little more challenging. Try to push myself a little more, try to do a little bit better, try to be a little bit better every day. When you're reading books, I picked a lot of different style books, mostly motivational, business related. I'm taking in that knowledge and I'm applying it. And I'm like, ooh, if I can just get a little bit better every single day, create better habits, that's how you get to that next level. And so I strongly recommend the 75 hard challenge. If it's not for you, at least start with just, reading every day, even if it is an audiobook. Bringing in that knowledge and then applying it will change your life. And then you get to share it with others, right? It becomes fun. So that's why I'm doing this video. I wanted to share exactly what steps I did, everything that I did, the obstacles I had, everything that happened during this time frame in order to get to a better shape and what it does to your mind. So much of it is physical, but you start to not only accept the uncomfortable and the hurt, but you kind of want it. It's the weirdest thing ever. The first time you're sore from lifting or from working out, it sucks. You can barely wake up, getting out of bed. It is no fun. But then it gets to the point where it's like, oh, I'm a little bit sore, but it's kind of a good sore. And then you kind of welcome it. You kind of welcome the pain in a good way. Really surprising to me what the physical side does to the mental side and how it can help take you to that next level. And I just wanted to share this because for anyone that might find it helpful, for anyone that's struggling, if you need an accountability partner, or if you're looking for someone to help push you or show you or whatever it is, I'm happy to be that person. I'm so nice about it. Like, my wife has goals right now, and I'm stern though. Like, if she's like not feeling it, I'll be like, oh, you told me you were going to do it, so let's do it. And then she'll be like, fine, you're right, I'll do it. And I have to give a huge shout out to my wife. When I first started this, I talked to her and I said, look, I love you, but I need you to push me on days that I'm not feeling it, because I know I'm going to have them. I know there's going to be days when I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to want to work out. And she did it. Like, I was so proud of her. Like, I remember a couple of days, I'm just like, I don't want to do this today. And she's like, but you have to, so do it. And I'm like, damn it, you're right. I have new goals now, for those of you wondering. Over this course of the journey of getting into shape, I have found that I enjoy lifting weights more than anything. It's a great workout. I love it. Like, it's such a great feeling. I love lifting weights. I hate cardio. I hate cardio and anything having to do with that high intensity interval training, HIIT training, right? But I know it's important, and I know that it helps with so many different things. And so I have another goal. It's still time-based. It's a year, and it's kind of twofold. Number one, I want to start waking up earlier. I've never been a morning person, so I'm trying to force myself to become a morning person. At least 3 days a week, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. so that I can go do a workout. I joined a gym that does these HIIT style workouts. It was actually designed to be a Tough Mudder training program, which was really fun for me. So I have a goal to run another obstacle course race before the end of this year. For me personally, I know I'm not going to do that stuff on my own. So that's why I had to join a gym. It's called VoloFit. It's in Gilbert. Huge shout out to Jason. He's amazing. Their crew is legit. What I really like about VoloFit is they focus on the three things that I care about: fitness, nutrition, and accountability. Like, if you're looking to truly get into the best shape of your life, you need those three things. All of that is factored into this VoloFit plan. So that's what they preach. That's what they do. And again, for me, I know I'm not going to do these HIIT style workouts on my own. So I have to do it with a group. I have to have a coach. And that's where you get to that next level. You can only go so far on your own. I don't care who you are. And if you're trying to get to that next level, whatever it is in your life, you need a coach. You need someone who's done it before and can show you how to do it. I've mostly cut out alcohol during the week. I'll have it on the weekends sometimes, but I don't miss it as much as I thought I would. Obviously, the Mixology Mix episodes, I have a ton of fun with those. But there it is, guys. That was my fitness journey. Every single thing that I did along the way. A huge shout out to everyone that supported me and everyone that has been supporting me. I hope this was helpful to anyone that might be looking for that extra push, or that wants to take their physical journey to the next level, or even their mental journey. But it starts with accountability, and you got to have that drive. Whatever it is for you, find out what's important to you, what you care about, and let that drive you, and then set a goal. Set something specific and just do one small thing a day. If you just walk on a treadmill every single day, it's better than sitting on a couch. It's better than doing nothing. Even if it's small, I promise you it's making a difference, because it started small with me, and then I just slowly started to get better and better. And I'm still not done. I'm working on Braden 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever version we are. Thank you guys for listening. I hope this was helpful. Any other insights or tips or tricks or anything that I came across, I'm an open book, so I'm happy to share with anyone. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of the day, and have a good one.